this episode, Amy Cohen and her sister Kelly Freeman, two sisters and tomatoes. And today we get two sisters that are my friends. I'm Chaplain Susan Stafford, and we're doing Out of the Box with Amy right over on your left, and then we got Kelly on your right. And they're going to teach me a lot, and we're going to teach them some things, and we're going to have a great time talking about anything we want except politics. We don't talk politics. We're sick of politics.
Right on.
But we're grateful to have America. So I'm going to start with the most simple question, which is, how many years have I known you?
All my life.
Yeah.
Practically.
I mean, you were 3, I think, when I saw that picture of you with Glenn Campbell's son, Travis.
Yes, Travis. We got married when we were 5.
Yeah. I wonder if his now wife knows that there's a problem. There's a double marriage.
We told her. We let her know. And then we quickly let her know that it was the older sister that married us, and we were 5. 5 years old.
And Amy, I remember when I used to go into Amy's bedroom and she had David Bowie up on the wall. And that was your heartthrob, as we know. Yeah.
And later on, I was able to work with him. So that was really a dream come true.
And you worked with him, and you worked with Dr. Ruth too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I worked with Dr. Ruth on the all-new Dr. Ruth show. And that was probably one of the best jobs I ever had. Though it didn't make me rich, but I definitely, it was wonderful to work with her. She is as amazing in person as you would imagine.
I wanted the audience to know, because this is right now a podcast and we'll be going to YouTube on February 27th. And I wanted them to know that, if you help me a little bit here, that you girls have a lot of different skills so that whoever's listening could take advantage of either one of you in the right way, of course. If they need
it could be in the
somebody.
wrong way too at this point. I'm joking.
I mean, I really think that them knowing about David Bowie, they're knowing about Dr. Ruth. Kelly was a news. Help me, a news.
Yeah, I was a news reporter.
Up in a plane, I saw you. I saw you in a plane giving a report.
Yeah, I did a lot of breaking news, hard news, entertainment news of the day. I did some a little bit of traffic reporting in the helicopter in LA, and a lot of time in front of the camera. So
yeah, and then let's see. I'm trying to remember. Did you have something going on in Italy at one time?
We did. When we were producing a fashion trade show, we met a wonderful lady who was responsible for all the fashion designers from Naples, Italy, in that region of Campania. That was one of our exhibitors. And I joked with her one day and said, "You need to make me your representative here in the United States." And she said, "That's interesting." And she said, "I'll think about it." And then before we knew it, she came back to me and said, "Yeah, we've got some events we want to do." So she called upon Amy and myself. And the first thing we did for them, other than fashion related travel with buyers and from the United States, retail store owners would go and shop the brands in Italy. But we did a big party and presentation and promotion for 500 years of Neapolitan pasta. So we know pasta today, but it's really, we know, from China, there's noodles, but the pasta that we know in Italian food comes from an area called Bragnano, and they call that the Bethlehem of pasta, which happens to be near Naples, Italy, near Mount Vesuvius, the famous volcano that wiped out the town of Pompeii back in the year 92. And so we started, excuse me, my little assistant is here with me, my little puppy dog who needs attention, sorry. Lots of love. So we started doing lots of different promotions with them and this lovely lady, Manuela, and we had been doing quite a bit about food and travel and tourism and the spas of that region, because the water is mineral rich. So a lot of people, especially Europeans, will go to the Mediterranean to soak up the hot baths, and it's just gorgeous, right? So we've done a lot of things, and now we're on some new projects with her. So we're happy, especially during COVID, to be doing this.
One of the reasons I brought this up is because not only is time short, we have COVID and there's not enough time. I go figure that, I do think that there are people that are listening that want to know what you're capable of doing. Because when I was praying about this segment today, I thought, there are people saying, I need somebody who really knows what they're doing, or I'd get somebody if she or he only knew what they're doing. So that's why I'm asking these questions, because there's somebody out there that just might say, I want to know more about those girls. And so that's why I brought that up. And then, of course, I've got a gourmet cook here. And I don't think I can do a cooking show right now. God knows I can't. I can get by with 7 dishes and I do okay. But how many dishes do you fix, Amy?
Well, first of all, it's always nice to cook for you because you always like what I make, regardless.
It's true.
For me, it's instant gratification of creativity, with, as you're saying, all the different talents that we do have. Sometimes things take a lot longer than you want to be able to come to fruition. So I turn to cooking because it's one of my creative outlooks and ways of showing my creativity. And I pretty much have the talent of being able to recreate any recipe that I taste. It's not something I do by the book. It's just a natural talent I have, and I really enjoy it. Unfortunately, I enjoy it too much, so sometimes you have to stop for a little while. But that's really where it comes from, and it gives me instant gratification for the creativity, and it also gives me instant gratification of making people I love feel good.
Well, you certainly do that. That's for sure. I just wondered how many of us, I'm one, just so you know, have put on extra weight since COVID. I have. Did either of you, or is it the same?
We have a unique situation as well. I would say Amy and I are sisters, and as you know, we've been living together because of COVID, especially, and our mother, who was a good friend of yours, passed away.
My best friend, not my best friend.
Your best friend.
My best friend.
For other people listening and watching,
she was being politically correct.
Yeah. So she passed away in early, and at the end of April. And when we were hunkering down with her at the beginning, and they shut down Los Angeles, where we live in. I remember it because we were able to celebrate her birthday in February, and then we were planning a whole bunch of birthday celebrations for my birthday, March 14th, and then Los Angeles shut down. So the
March 17th.
Yeah. Well, we planned on going out Friday and Saturday. The last meal we took out that we were out for was on the 12th of March. So my birthday stuff, 13th was canceled, 14th was canceled. And so we were bringing food in to the house and doing a lot of delivery. So, and then as she progressed and things happened, alcohol, more wine and wine and food. And then people were bringing food to us. But yes, we were putting on weight, and also because of COVID, definitely because we were home, we didn't know what to do, we were scared to go out.
All the gyms got closed, all the pool that we love and adore got closed. Any way you could do some exercise was really taken away. And again, backing up with what Kelly said, after our mom passed away, people are so kind and they send so much food, and it and, killing us with kindness. Hello. So yes, it's been a tough time, but we've actually gone back in the last month or so to following the way of eating with good vegetables, organic, and protein, and just the right amount of berries and good things for yourself.
Actually, I think out of that whole situation that I at the time was at the St. John's Hospital. I had a new knee put in,
Right.
and Amy was going to make, I don't remember the dish, but I was salivating, waiting for this dish. Nothing could come into the hospital. No rabbi, no priest, no communion, no food, no nada. And I really felt cheated. I mean, I really felt cheated.
Well, and Amy and I were talking, we were like, okay, what can we bring? She's like, what can I make? What can I make to bring? And I'm like, oh, you could bring so many different things, and you could bring things that she could have in the room for several days. And at that point, especially I think still to this day, you can't bring food into anybody.
Really? But I think it's changing though. I think it was, might have been last night. Might have been last night that they said they're going to open the dining rooms now. The restaurants in LA. I think it was.
Yeah, starting tomorrow.
Okay.
They're going to, not inside dining, just outside, outdoor.
But it's something.
Yeah. Of course, with our only rain coming, the biggest rainstorm of the year coming.
So you take an umbrella.
Right, exactly. But I do remember what I was going to make. There were two things, and I will make them whenever I see you too. There's a big pot of matzo ball soup. That was one of them.
I love it.
And the other one was a chicken pot pie.
Yes, and I love them both.
And you will get it, and I promise them.
A friend of ours called this morning, Dr. Hall from Los Angeles, and he wanted to make sure that I was going to be taking the vaccination. And we talked about it. And he would like for me to wait for the Johnson & Johnson because you only need one shot, and it's supposed to be here by the end of February, where the other vaccination you have to take two, one and a booster. And because I'm a chaplain and first responder, I could take my shot now, but I'm going to wait for the Johnson & Johnson. And meanwhile, I'm and Tammy, we've been feeding people who have COVID. We kick it through the door. We put the Vaseline in our nose because that's what we did working in leprosy with former Surgeon General Coop. We wear the gloves, sometimes goggles, depending.
Sure.
We're cautious, but we still go to the chiropractor. We still go to a dentist. We still, but we're not as tied down as you are, really.
Yeah.
I think, and it's challenging. We are very fortunate because we are living together. We live in an area that it's open. It's, so we can walk outside and get our exercise outside. And we're not alone because we have each other to be with. And we have so much empathy for the families that, people that are separated, that are alone, that haven't been able, that have really been so isolated. So one of the things I'm just going to tell you that has been beneficial to us in what we do with Italy and what we do with the different promotions that we do is talk about food. And it's so important, especially because we're so locked up in our homes, that Amy and I are doing things where we can pay it forward by ordering takeout to help keep the restaurants open. But when we're home cooking, because she's such a great chef, home cook, we're really focusing on the Mediterranean diet and pointed to like organic and whole foods and foods that are better for us to help our bodies without having the chemicals and all those things that have, that create all of the illness in our bodies, So we're choosing things like the greatest tomatoes from Europe, which is a campaign that we are doing now on promoting tomatoes that are grown specifically in the Mediterranean, and that moisture, that mineral rich soil that is like tomatoes grown for the can to your table. So, we hear about farm to table. This is just one step between farm to table, but it's fresh and no preservatives, no salt. And it's really, truly something that is, as we are interested in health, we're looking at labels more. We want to see what is in the can. So like if we can't get something that is fresh just out of the garden, we want to go to alternatives that are things that we know are good. And tomatoes that are grown in Europe, specifically labeled and certified, are really some of the best choices we can have.
Is that pronounced? Is that pronounced? Did you hear that gravel do you hear a gravel? No? You don't hear it? I hear a gravel.
No, maybe it's
Must be on our end.
Early? Okay.
I don't know. I pronounce it Anukov?
Yeah, Anakav. Yeah,
okay.
They are an association of growers that they are the Italian Association of Canned Tomato Producers that represent the world's finest European preserved tomatoes. Anakav members account for over, get this, 60% of all the processed tomatoes in Italy, and nearly all the whole peeled tomatoes produced in the world. That includes the internationally well-known San Marzano dell'Agro Sarnese Nocerino DOP, which means the designated origin of protection, which means that the government is very involved in making sure the quality is number one, that it meets all standards, that it is truly the most premium product that you can have. There's a lot of people brands out there that claim to be, Italian or European, and some can come from China and different things. And it's like, that's why it's really important. And that's why we're doing this promotion, because we want to make sure that when people they're looking for something specific like European canned tomatoes, that they're actually getting the real deal, what they really do want to have.
Firstly, is it something that I could go to the store and find?
Absolutely. You just can go grocery stores, Italian markets and delis. You can go to Amazon. You can go online. Just, Google. And with all the delivery service, especially today, the ways that we get everything. I mean, we're always getting boxes. You can just look it up and you can get them. And we also have a website.
Yeah, if you go to our website, you'll be able to see all the different because Anakav, like Kelly said, represents all the growers. So it has all the different brands and the ones that are in the U.S.
And what
the brands that are in the U.S.
Yes, there's multiple brands. Yes.
So we don't have to get this from Europe.
No.
They are produced in Europe, and then they are imported. So you can get them. You get them here. That's the whole idea of the promotion, is that you can get them here
in America.
United States, and you want to look for things that are good. And so our website is www.greatesttomatosfromeurope.com, and we have social media, Instagram and Facebook is greatesttomatosfromeurope.com. And we also have an app, so you can get our app on iTunes as well as Google Play. And you can get all the information there if you're really interested. And I recommend it because I've learned a lot about it. And, one of the things that we say is that the health benefits of the Greatest Tomatoes from Europe are among the most important foods that you can have. They're a rich source of vitamin A and C and potassium, minerals, fiber, really high in the antioxidant lysine, which supposedly it's better in the can than a fresh tomato, which you would think
that's a stretch.
Yeah, but they say it's better in the can, from the can, in this particular case, because you're getting more of the lysine, and that has been known to be useful in the prevention of various diseases. And
so we're going to call this this particular segment, as we were stated, we're going to visit Tomato Land. We'll make it a Tomato Land. I think that was your dog growling that I'm hearing.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. That's
It's
okay.
hard. It's hard being anywhere away from
Well, no, they're your children.
Under COVID, hello.
Yeah.
So they can, what's that word there?
Do they use special types of cans?
A special type. Is there a special type of can?
No, it's just there are multiple brands, but you're looking for European canned tomatoes.
Okay. Now
Wait,
I did a little research knowing I was going to be with the two of you because
Good.
when I'm with the two of you, I have to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So I looked up tomato history and found out that it was traced back to the early Aztecs in 700 AD was the first time a tomato is mentioned.
In the Americas.
And that it's a native to the can't read my own handwriting. Americas.
Right, and then brought over to Italy, and then they perfected it.
Right, in the 1600s, which I thought was interesting. So and it's called a fruit. A tomato is called a fruit. I would have missed that in school. I thought it was a vegetable.
I know, right? It's so funny. It's really, really, really funny. But I noticed that like we eat so many of them just by virtue of our salsas, our pastas, our pizzas. We do get a lot of them. So when it's just like any food that we choose to eat, we want to make sure we're getting,
And of course,
the real thing.
the slice on the hamburger. I mean, they use tomatoes for everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's your favorite way to have tomatoes?
Right out of the ground with a little salt. That's my favorite tomato.
But that's the interesting thing because these from Italy or from Europe, I'm sorry, they're actually grown. You know how it's farm to table is the big thing right now. These tomatoes are actually grown, especially to go from the farm to the can to the table.
Oh, really?
Because they're really used for slow cooking. They're really used for soups and stews and
There's no added salt. So when you were asking about how
That's good.
to find them, you look on the label. You look to see where it's coming from, and then you look at the ingredients. You're not going to find salt. You're not going to find preservatives. You're not going to find the additives. It's going to say.
And see, that's the killer. Those are the killers.
And I have to watch that. I mean, I had a scare with cancer last year too, and
I remember.
I have to watch my stuff. Yeah, and I'm just blessed but when I'm going to have junk food, I'm going to have junk food. But when I'm having my regular cooking, Amy knows. I mean, it was
when you have junk food. Since you said that, we'll just use that for a minute. When you have junk food, you give yourself permission to have it.
Yes.
And then voila. And then right?
Well, you know what we started at, I think we started having food delivery to us daily
because we were having so much delivery because of COVID and even the market, we were having delivery and paying that and trying to support the local restaurants because they're all closed except for delivery. That was something we were finding that we were putting on weight as well. So I looked up my problem because I am such a good cook and because I do enjoy food. It's like, and especially during COVID when we have nothing really to look forward to, we can look forward to something good to eat. And that's something that can definitely give us the comfort we need. So we've actually found, my problem is my portions. And because I do cook pretty higher consciously and use products that are for fuel as well as tasting good. And so anyway, I might slip in a little too much butter or I might slip in a little too much olive oil or do that. So we found a chef that actually is delivering to us right now. And we're taking one day a week to eat whatever we want, but we're eating these regular balanced, really good organic meals. And that's really good to get us through this COVID situation.
I'm curious. Is that the dog?
Probably.
I'm
I'm
curious
sorry.
as
This
to-
one, this is her, and she makes a little gurgle, so I apologize.
Okay, just so you that are listening, you know it's not me. Okay, what do you have for breakfast, for example?
I have I might deviate a little bit, but I have fresh berries, any kind of berries, but blueberries, boysenberries, raspberries. I break up some raw walnuts. I found a granola that is very low in carbohydrates and sugar and not too high in fiber because I can't have too much fiber. And I grind up flax seeds and I use non-fat plain yogurt and I just mix it in. And it's kind of like, I tell myself, it's like when you go to a hotel, you have like a spa breakfast and they give you the bowl of berries and it just feels so lovely. And I'm like, why don't I do that for myself? So I put it in a beautiful glass bowl and I eat that. And that's my breakfast. I know I'm getting my antioxidants. I'm getting what Dr. Sanjay Gupta tells me I should be having. And, and then our lunches are what they are, because you know me, I could eat a whole pot of pasta in one sitting. I could eat a whole pizza. So, and it's gotten me in trouble. So now we are having, so that's breakfast. Amy's breakfast is a little different.
Yeah, sometimes I'll take like some goat cheese and warm it up and then crack an egg and put it in because I just want a protein breakfast. And I happen to really love goat cheese. So
I do too.
Yeah, and I kind of mix it together and it makes a delicious scrambled egg without using any butter or oil or anything like that because there's enough actually in the goat cheese to give you not burn on the pot. Or sometimes I actually really like, I found this granola that is vegan and there's no sugar and there's no nuts. It's only seeds and protein of different hemp and it's delicious. And I'll mix that with fresh berries, which we know are really good for you, and cottage cheese. That's a good breakfast, without having to go. Or also I sometimes take a piece of protein bread, really good whole grain protein bread, and put cottage cheese on top of that and put some cinnamon on it and put it under the broiler and let it melt and then put berries on top of that. It's really delicious. And yeah, it's just something, sorry.
Precious. Somebody at the door?
Yes.
Amy's going to leave us for a second.
I'm going
this is something that I think that everybody's experiencing. We're having our Zoom meetings and radio and YouTube and trying to conduct business the best we can. And it's important to realize that, there's some people that are doing business, trying to do business, not and ignore the fact that we're living in a pandemic. And it's like, you do the best you can, but animals are around and babies are crying and you just have to, so we really apologize.
And stomachs are growling.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We will get through this.
Yeah. Yes.
On our cheat days, we love
Italian food. So
shocking.
Yeah. And I love a really good pizza. It's like, what can I possibly make, for one meal when you go all week of really eating really stringently? It's like, okay, I want a falafel, I want sushi, I want pizza, and I'll just have a cheeseburger on the side.
Right.
So this way I do take some of the recipes we have on the website. Also, there's some amazing recipes of what you can do that are easy and or some of them are harder for people who are more used to cooking. But there's some really, really interesting. The pastas that come from Naples are from that part of the region of Italy are just amazing, and you can get them.
That soup? Is that tomato soup?
Tomato right out of the can.
Oh, that's the tomatoes right out of the can.
Yeah.
But you can do so many. Pastas are such an easy, versatile kind of food to work with because you could top them. You could top them as you
with
know
lobster.
Yeah. Well, we Jews don't eat lobster. You know that.
This one does.
But because that's why pasta is so versatile and all different types of cuisine, because you can put different sauces, whether it be curry or whether it be tomatoes, which you can put tomatoes in curry, or just with all the different Asian cuisines and Indian cuisines and Thai cuisine. Well, those are all Asian, but also Mexican. I mean, anything. It's amazing how versatile the tomatoes and pasta can be. So it's fun to experiment.
Well, yeah, you've been doing that the better part of your life. I think, I don't think you've missed much, either one of you.
No. As you know,
as you as
you
well.
are.
It's true.
Our man Mame, and life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are out there starving to death.
That's true. And unfortunately, it's true of America today. I had a birthday recently, and I picked out Feed America, and we made almost $600 in one day. And I was really proud about that. I did Alzheimer's last year. I mean, how much stuff, the food that you make, yes, but the rest you can do without, for sure. Let me ask you, when someone how should I phrase it? Okay, this way. If somebody wants to come see you and pretty much where they've been, in terms of this COVID conversation, and they don't have COVID and they do wear a mask, do you have them come see you? No,
not at all.
Interesting.
There's such a different mindset going on right now in our country. We can't speak for the rest of the world, but in our country, some people believe it exists, some people don't. But the reality is that as time goes on, we are learning not only about the massive numbers, but we are learning that we know more people that have contracted it. We can't say who right now, but one of our loved ones that's very close to us is in very bad condition at the hospital, and we'll talk to you about that off air. But more people are getting it, and the thing is that there's more strains, and you don't know if you're carrying it.
That's true.
And it's spreading. And what gets me is that whether you believe in it or not, it's not a question of having our rights taken away from us. It's being safe to protect humankind. It's being safe to protect the industry. So many people are out of work. I mean, forget the illness, the deaths, the heartache from losing a family member. It's businesses are shut down. I mean, the zoo is closed. You can't go to the zoo, the movie theater.
Cemeteries are closed. Cemeteries.
We haven't, it's coming up in April. It'll be a year since our mom passed away, Yeah. We haven't been able to have a celebration of life and get together with people. So it's like, I don't know what the answer is. They're telling us to not, and we're seeing the people, they were getting together. We saw them on Facebook getting together, and then all of a sudden one's in the hospital and everyone around them got COVID. So now they're all struggling with it right now. And that's just one of many. So no.
I'm just curious because admittedly, Vegas is different than California. California is locked down hard, very hard. I guess maybe equal to that from the people I talked to in New York, and we know New Yorkers, all three of us. But here, we could go to a restaurant. But what's the point of wearing the mask in? You take it off to eat, you put it back on to leave. Doesn't make sense. Makes sense. But I was curious because I had mentioned to somebody yesterday, I said, maybe I'll get there in March for your birthday.
I'd love it.
I don't know. And then she said, but I don't know if I could see you. I said, but I just had an antibiotic check. I'm okay. Twice now. I'm okay because I'm cautious because of being a chaplain and working with so many people. And she said, I don't know if I can see you. And I thought, wow.
Yeah. It's like you have to you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And then I think that people, even that have gotten the vaccine, we've talked about it, they think they're okay. But the minute you've got the COVID test and it shows that you're negative, you go and you meet somebody in the elevator. You could be caught. So it's just, there's so many factors that are not known still.
Yeah. And the hardest one is not knowing if you're a carrier.
Right.
I would hate it to think I was a carrier.
Right.
You know?
And give it to somebody. You would feel horrible if you gave.
Oh my! So I these antibiotics. This new doctor we're checking that out, and Tammy's been making food, and we've been sliding food to different homes that have COVID because they're by themselves. They don't want grocery bags in. They don't want to wash their boxes. I mean, real. Yeah. And we slide it in, we don't go in, we slide it in. And so this will be our second time that we've gone in for our test, but we do it with the blood to see if we've had it, if we have it, if there's a carrier, do the whole thing. Sure. A lot of people told me they're going out to Dodgers there in Kansas City, Dodgers right. Park to get their shots.
In LA.
Mm-hmm, in LA. And,
yeah, some people are doing that, and we just found out that the different health organizations are doing things. So, like Cedars-Sinai is handling the vaccines in one way. We just found out Kaiser Permanente, which is a huge medical provider, they're going to be doing it differently. We know friends that have gone to Dodger Stadium and have gotten the shots, and we hear about and see what we have on the news. It's just amazing to see like how the happiest place on earth, Disneyland was converted into a vaccination spot. I haven't been able to wrap my head around this yet. Really,
whoever thought we'd be here doing this now?
Never.
And then I wonder what my mother and father, I wonder what your mother and father would say. I mean,
Mom said, I'm not going for it. I'm checking out.
And I was just going to say, it's so unfortunate that we're down here working with COVID and she's having a party.
She is.
She's graduated. And so I'm not worried about our Stevie. I tell you.
She's here with us. I will tell you that.
I want to call her so much all the time. But I
talk out loud to her. She communicates with me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think when you've been with somebody so long and you've had so many memories, that's what you miss the most. I can call you all and talk to you. Fortunately, but anybody that says they don't miss Stevie has got a problem, So I miss her more, equal to that of my mother, who is my best friend. So there's two best friends.
Right.
But I'm so fortunate that I had them. Because a lot of people have never had an experience like we have had. They've never been to where we've been. They'll never know a good mother from a bad mother. They'll never know their real mother. I mean, so I have to go out of that little bitty party that I can fall into and realize how grateful I am to be talking to the two of you today. Oh. And how grateful I am we're talking about tomatoes. It's like,
tomatoes
really?
Brought us together again. Yeah.
I mean, really. But nothing surprises me with the two of you. Nothing ever has. I mean, nothing ever has. And we've had some wonderful times. And I really, really, I forgot to announce, this is Chaplain Susan Stafford with Out of the Box. And I'm here with Kelli and Amy. Kelly's on, well, it depends on what side you're on, but on the right, the redhead is Kelli. And that's my Amy over there with her little cute smile and the dog in the center running around like crazy. What can I say? And so I just thank you for just taking time to have fun, to talk to each other, to see each other. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know that I've ever heard of a tomato being in a can and not having preserves. Never. My first time. See, every day you can learn something, right?
We're going to send you some.
The greatest tomatoes from Europe, the art to perfection, preserved from all taste, for all taste. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
We're gonna send you guys some.
Okay.
oh, definitely.
So Tammy can get busy cooking some tomatoes.
Oh, she loves to cook. She
I know
cooks. She does. She enjoys it. And then I say, get out of the kitchen. There's work to do because I want to get my work, my work. I'm workaholic. I love it. So the two of you take care of yourself. Remember, you're loved. And thank you so much for just, always being there,
Always for you. Always.
And don't go dancing tonight. That's a don't. You have to wait to do that.
I want to get into trouble.
We dance at home.
Yeah.
We dance at home.
Hey, might as well,
Yeah.
And what's the future hold for you, do you think, as we close? Any ideas?
I'm gonna, I've got some, with work, we've got these wonderful projects, and I look forward to that. I look forward to doing more service with children that I do already, but doing more. And when COVID is over, I definitely am planning on doing some serious traveling and taking my fur babies and Amy and, going out and seeing some of our local world that we can take our dogs to.
Yeah.
And I look forward to being able to see my grandchildren. They've both gone from 2 to 3 in this COVID since I haven't seen them. So that's something that I look forward to. And as Kelly said, paying it forward, staying on a conscious level and just trying to bring love into everyone I come into contact with, like you do. That's a virtue that you and my mother own. And I want to be more like you guys.
What a great close. I love that. Don't you love that, Stevie? We love that. I love you both. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. We'll talk again.
Thank you.
Kisses.